Peace be with you. Today I read an article in the Daily Wire, which is a supposedly conservative news media outlet that I used to follow, and it was by Matt Walsh, a man who I thought was brilliant. I really had a high opinion of him, and it was in regards to a comedy show by Dave Chappelle that was held recently. And in this article, he describes how some people felt sickened and terrified and unsafe because Dave Chappelle, after actually condemning Hamas, also dared to talk about Israeli war crimes in Gaza. So these people, because they were sickened that he dared to do this, they got up and tried to rebuke Dave Chappelle, and he dared to talk back to them. And then the crowd supported Palestine, and they felt terrified and unsafe, so they decided to leave. And the way Matt Walsh wrote this article just really exposed his hypocrisy when it comes to Israel, just like Ben Shapiro. A man of that intellect knows what's going on. He just chooses to justify it, and that is very disappointing. As a conservative, I am certainly very disappointed. These people who were sickened by a comedy show, they're not sickened by Christians dying in their church because Israel decided to bomb a church which they knew that it was a church. They're not sickened by children being buried in the rubble of their apartment buildings. They're not sickened by the images of dead and suffering children and innocent civilians in Gaza. They're not sickened by the collective punishment of denial of water and food and medicine. They're not sickened by any of this because these people, like their Israeli defense minister told them, are human animals. The same demonization that was used against the Jewish people in World War II is being used against the Palestinians prisoners of Gaza, and they're not sickened by any of that. They're not sickened by dehumanization of these people, nor their murder. They're sickened by a comedy show. And they said they felt terrified and unsafe. You want to feel terrified and unsafe? Go be a child in Gaza right now. You want to feel terrified and unsafe? Go seek shelter in a church in Gaza right now. You want to feel terrified and unsafe? Go seek shelter in a hospital in Gaza right now. You want to feel terrified and unsafe? Go try to find food and water in Gaza right now. You want to feel terrified and unsafe? Go encounter any settler as a Palestinian in the West Bank. You want to feel terrified and unsafe? Go try to protest the Israeli brutal crimes that have been ongoing for 75 years and see what happens. These people are sickened at a comedy show. They felt terrified and unsafe at a comedy show, while at the same time supporting a brutality against innocent people, and they have been supporting it for 75 years. You're not sickened by 75 years of apartheid and systemic racism and oppression and murder. You're not sickened by that. You're sickened by a comedian cracking a joke about it. And the fact that a man of Matt Walsh's quality has taken this position, he's extremely intelligent. He knows. But he chose hypocrisy and probably money over his knowledge, is what he did. Same like Ben Shapiro. And the fact that these people took this position only discredits them as conservatives. They're not conservatives. They're hypocrites. And that is very, very disappointing to see. I had really high regards of both of those men, and to see them be such hypocrites in support of a foreign nation is very disappointing. Peace be with you.